Hi, welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. My name's Mike Bosely. Today with us, we have Deena Pace, the Executive Director of the Humane Society, and we also have Deborah, who is now our new volunteer coordinator. But before we get into our guests and meeting a new friend I know you're going to love, I want to talk about Bosley's Pet Peeve. This is a little segment that I do.
Okay.
And we talk about some things that have bothered me since the last time we done the show. It's winter, people. Let's face it. It gets cold outside. Now, I know your animals have fur, and in the natural world, basically animals stay outside all winter long. Well, true. They're called polar bears. And if you have a polar bear, I would like to be your friend, honestly. That's really cool. But for everybody else, they go inside. Even wolves, they have dens. Even polar bears, they have dens. They go inside. Now, the White Mountain weather can be really tricky. It's 55 degrees in the afternoon. That's almost tanning weather up here. But at night, it can drop down to 18, 10, 11. Those fur coats that they have do help, but not at those temperatures. Please, please, please be mindful of the animals and bring them in. I know they have a doghouse. I know their doghouse has a door. But it doesn't help when the temperatures get that cold, and especially with our weather up here, it could start sleeting or anything. So once again, please, just bring your animals inside. And I know somebody's probably got a little opinion to help me on that. Miss Deena Pace, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
You know, that is one of our pet peeves. And I realize that some people have outside-only animals. We get a lot of calls, and we're not allowed to handle these calls. We have to refer them to animal control, whether it be Navajo County. For us, our animal control officer is Barbara Lee up in Pine Top. And or if you're in the Show Low district, you need to call your Show Low Animal Control. The problem with this is the law says if they have shelter and they have water. And so our deal is, one of my biggest things is they can't be part of the family, which is what we hope every pet is.
Right.
Part of a family, and they can't be that if they're out in a yard all the time by themselves. My personal experience when I had horses and goats and stuff, and is that the animals drink more water in the winter. Deborah, have you noticed that? Because you've got horses and stuff. And so I think it's really important that if you have the bigger animals that have to stay outside like that, please make sure you're breaking their water from the ice and stuff, and make sure that they have that, because somehow that helps keep them warm from the inside out also. The other thing is, you know, Mike, you've got a legitimate complaint, and it's one of our heartaches is that.
My dogs are really spoiled, and I was out working with a friend, and the sun had gone down, and it had been down for about 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, I've got to go start my car. The doggies need to be warm. My friend was like, you're an idiot. They have coats. And I'm like, yeah, but they're spoiled.
Exactly.
But that brought on the thought that you may think it's okay because you walked outside for 5 minutes and then walked back inside. Oh, it's not that cold. But if you're outside all night long,
right.
It gets cold.
And not all of the animals, even if you do have that dog house, I've got some that live fairly close to me that it kills me when I come home a certain way. There's 2 dogs, and it doesn't matter. It could be raining, it can be snowing, it could be nice weather. They are curled up in a ball, and they never had a dog house. And I think someone complained to the city of Show Low, and they did their job. And so they have 1 dog house now, 2 dogs, and a little goat. And the only one I've ever seen in the dog house is the goat. And it's very sad to me, and it's, you know, for all of us animal lovers out there, that's really very hard for us. Several years back when we had a goat, it was a bad winter storm coming, and you know, I brought my goat in and I put it in my back room. Certainly you have a room you can close off, you know, your
Baby
laundry
gates.
room.
Yes.
Exactly. Shut the door.
Baby
Get them secured where you're not worried, you know. And we're the type at the shelter that we worry, you know,
Of
and
course.
people come in and they go, oh, it's so sad that they're here. No, really, it's actually some
A
of
good
these,
thing.
it's better than what they came from.
Right.
And these animals are so grateful for us at the shelter because they do. They have a bed up off the floor. They have blankets on it. They get fed regular meals. They get walked. They have socialization every day. And so to me, it's very sad to see them when they're just on a chain or in a backyard all the time by themselves.
Now, speaking of all these luxuries that these animals are getting from the shelter, my dogs at home, I cannot get them to do chores. I mean, obviously you have people doing the chores, or do you trick
Well,
the animals into doing chores?
We actually have quite a few people that it takes and volunteers to do all these chores because this job never ends. I mean, we get there, there's a couple of us there at 7 o'clock in the morning to start feeding all the animals. And then the rest of the crew comes in at 8, and that's when the work really begins, is when they start doing the laundry, because every animal gets clean bedding, clean toys, and clean dishes every day. Our washers start at 7 in the morning, and we stop them at 5 when we go home at night.
I will remind my dogs how spoiled they are.
Exactly.
Or not, right.
Exactly. You know, all they got to do is lay around by the fire or whatever, you know. And I tell mine that too. And mine get so excited when I leave for work, sometimes they want to go. And I'm like, they don't like to come to the shelter because of I don't know if they're scared I'm going to leave them or what, you know. But they always want to go. And I always tell them, you guys have it so nice,
Right.
you know. So there are a lot of us crazy, loving people in this world that we don't like to see these animals in this cold weather outside. It's very hard for us to see that stuff.
It is hard.
Even ours at the shelter, they don't get to go out to the exercise yards on a day like today.
No.
They will be walked several times throughout the day to go potty and get some fresh air and stuff, but we're not going to leave them outside in this stuff. We're just not.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And of course you take care of the animals. I mean,
Absolutely.
And yeah, they're your extended, super extended family.
Right.
Yes, they are.
And your family knows that.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Now,
So,
speaking of volunteers,
Yes.
our other guest, Deborah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you are a volunteer coordinator. Is that your new?
That's my new position starting January
Congratulations.
2nd,
Wow,
right?
that's
Yep,
it's
January
like
2nd.
right up there with Santa Claus. Those are some awesome, impossible jobs.
I'm excited about it.
I bet.
Actually, to learn it and to help these animals out. And I'm
So
ready
how
for
many
it.
years have you been in the animal?
I have been a veterinary technician for 24 years.
24 years.
So-
So this is your lifelong, this
It is. It's
what
the animals.
you do.
I've always
So
loved them.
how long have you been working with the Humane Society?
Actually, we just moved here just a little over a year in Sholo, and I've been with the Humane Society for 9 months now.
Well, welcome.
So,
And
thank you.
obviously, Deena's got a lot of faith in you to put
do.
that kind of title on your
Yes.
shoulders, but
I'm excited.
obviously she has faith in you. We do too. Now, you brought a friend with us.
Yep, this is Girly. She's about 11 months old. She was hit by a car, so it caused nerve damage in her right front leg, so it had to be removed.
This cat that's been climbing all over Deena only has 3 legs.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
See?
Look at that. Wow. And
She
honestly,
doesn't know it though, does
No,
she?
she does not.
and I didn't know it there for a short bit. She was climbing all over
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Wow.
She's
so
done really well.
this is miracle work that you've done at the Humane Society.
Yeah, our doctor, Dr. Helzer, she does an awesome job with our dogs.
But it's
and
not
cats.
always about, I mean, granted, getting the doctoring is
Right.
important, but there's so much more. Like, I have a friend that he got himself hurt. The guy's in surgery.
Right.
He's laid up for 3 weeks. His wife can't wait for him to get healed.
I'll bet.
Yeah, right.
So there's so much more that goes on after the surgery.
Yes, there is aftercare.
And
There's
tell us a
always-
little bit about that real quick.
Well, I was asked when she had her leg removed if I would take her home and do her aftercare because, you know, she had to have medicine, so I had to make sure she got her medicine. Another thing was she didn't need to be running and jumping around.
Makes sense.
That's how we are with our spays and neuters also.
Of course.
So I just took her home, and my grandson and my husband and I, and we just took really good care of her, and then she became friends with my animals. So she gets along with cats and dogs.
Now, what other kind of special care You just have to give her medicine, which I can only imagine. You had to change bandages.
Oh,
You had to do.
Actually, she
there's a
didn't have
list
any
of things.
bandages, so that was the
Oh,
easy
wow.
part. It was just keeping her bedding clean, making sure she ate her medicine, that she was constantly loved, you know, because that's kind of a little bit of stress, you would think, not knowing, you know,
Right.
where's that leg. I know that I asked about, what do you think her balance will be? Well, there has been no questions about it. She just took right off, and you would never know that she only has 3 legs.
Wow.
So she's just really come back good.
Now, Deena, is there a massive need for medical fosters, regular fosters? I mean, what is obviously humane needs a lot, society, but I mean, what is one of your higher priorities?
You know, volunteers, there's several different things
of
that fall
course,
under
of course.
volunteers. And foster is a part of volunteering. So like Deborah volunteered to foster her. So we have medical needs that need that. Sometimes we have cases where they need socialization, you know, where they're just scared to death of everything, whether it be a cat or a dog. And they need someone that can give them that extra time and quiet place for their healing of their soul or whatever scared them so bad. And then like right now, we have a situation where I have a mom and 4 babies right outside my office. So those kind of things, we have a need for, we get cats that are having kittens and dogs that are having puppies, and you know, and then sometimes we get the ones that are orphaned, that don't have a parent to take care of them, that need the bottle feeding, that need that, you know, it's not just bottle feeding. I mean, they're stimulating them. There's, you know, because they can't go potty when they're newborn without
Right.
their mom.
No, I guess I
know that you did that one.
All right. The glazed look.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. It was actually very entertaining, Mike. So when the mom, after they eat, if you've ever watched the mom lick them, they're actually stimulating them to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
Yep.
You literally learn something new every day.
So, you know, when they don't have that mom, you have to get a warm rag and wipe them where the mom would be licking them and stuff to help them go potty so that they don't have internal problems from not going to the bathroom.
Wow.
So yeah, there's so much that goes on that people don't realize in our animal welfare world.
Right.
To save these animals. And so fostering is definitely a form of volunteer, and it takes all of us to make this happen here at our Humane Society. It takes the whole village to help us.
So, be a part of the village, come be a volunteer. We'll get more into volunteering, the application process. We'll talk about, well, many other things coming up here in just a moment. Stay right here. And welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. My name is Mike Bosely. I'm your host. Once again, we've got Deena Pace, we've got Deborah, and Girly with us today. And as you can see, Girly has just cozied right on up.
You know, she would do great if someone was home a lot.
Yep.
You know, I mean, look at this. On a stormy day, you know, just settle up in front
Curl up
of
with
a
a
fire
book
and a
and-
book and Girly.
She'll be right there.
And she, I don't know, but she's purring. I don't know if you can hear that, but she is loving the life right now.
She is.
Now, you have a 3-legged cat. You have animals that need all kinds of different needs.
Absolutely.
Tell us some of the needy animals, not needy animals. Tell us some of the animals.
The special things that they need.
Yeah.
You know, well, so we just recently had Gypsy, who we transferred to Border Collie Rescue after we fixed her. So Gypsy's a prime example of another foster that we could have used for her. She came in and was having problems with her urinating. And we discovered that we took out 5 bladder stones
Yes.
that were this big. And, you know, she was in so much pain when she came to us and stuff, and I kept going, something's not right, you know, and before long, I mean, it was obvious that we had problems. So she had surgery. But I mean, to be able to have them outside of the shelter in a foster home during recovery of that kind of stuff would be wonderful. And like Deborah had said, a lot of times they need to be contained at first, so we supply everything. The crate to keep them in, the bedding, the food, everything, the dishes, everything. We will supply you with everything that you could possibly need during the medical foster, and also phone numbers in case of an emergency that you need to get through to, our doctor or to Debbie or myself or somebody.
That's good to have an emergency number,
Absolutely.
of course.
Absolutely.
Now, we've talked about it on the show before, but remind everyone out there, how does the process go to become either, just a volunteer, a foster parent, somebody who wants to come and read books to the animals? How you want to take this for us, Deborah? How does somebody become a volunteer for the Humane Society of the White Mountains?
First, they usually come in and they'll ask, how can they help us?
Okay.
So we say, we have volunteer program. We have several places. We have the doghouse. We have off-site. So we ask them to fill out an application.
Okay.
Anyone under the age of 18 has to have parental. They have to be along with them, which has been okay because we've had a few of those, and the parents end up signing up as a volunteer also. So that kind of
a little 2-for-1 package there.
Right, that helps a lot. So we try to. I've done 2 orientations, one with Deb and then a half of one with Deb. So my second one was a little overwhelming, but we got through it and we did really well. So we called them up and asked them to come to our orientation so that we could go through and discuss what a volunteer does for the Humane Society.
Okay.
And then we also know on this application what they're interested in.
So is there like an orientation once every month, or do you do it when you just have enough volunteers, or I mean?
Well, it has been once every month, but with Deborah moving into this new position now, it's going to be when we have enough to do it, because Deborah's new schedule is Tuesday through Saturdays, because we felt it's also very important, say they want to do the dog walking. We think it's very important for Deborah to be able to, when they first start coming in on their own, she goes through all that in orientation, but it's a little overwhelming on how we want everyone to handle the dogs, how we want the dogs to behave before you take them out. So Deborah will now be able to have one-on-one time when they start coming in and volunteering for that.
That's nice.
Until they're comfortable with those roles.
Right.
And so the orientation usually lasts an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
And so some people can't always make it on a Saturday. So with Deborah now, she's going to be able to be more flexible in this position so that it should help the whole organization. Because as she said, there's not only volunteers, there's some that want to do fundraising, big one that we always need. Some that want to do the off-site adoptions like she had mentioned. Some that want to help us at our doghouse thrift shop. And so she will work very hand in hand with Stacy, our manager over there, and they're going to come up with an outline of the orientation and do it specific to the doghouse thrift shop needs. Because if that's where they want to be, they don't need to come through the dog handling orientation. So we're going to try and make this even more volunteer friendly.
Right, just streamlined entirely.
Exactly. So that is our goal, so that we can help each part of the organization. And one of the things that I think is really important is one of the main things people can give you is their time.
Yes, time is money.
Time is money, and it's their time.
Oh, yeah.
And if they choose to give it to us in our mission to help these homeless animals, we want to be able to make this as accessible and a great experience for them, where they'll keep coming back and they'll say, hey, you know what, I got a friend that needs something to do. Right. And this time of the year, people get lonely. They get locked in, they feel like there's nowhere to go because the weather's cruddy outside. And what am I going to do? You know what? They not only can walk dogs, on days like today, they could come and socialize puppies. They could sit with these quiet dogs that need that extra one-on-one, or cats, So we have all kinds of opportunities available, and we'll develop that even more with Deborah in her new position, to where this whole community can help if they choose to.
That's wonderful to give everybody that opportunity. And honestly, I mean, I don't think, all the as a business owner, we give a lot here, there. You guys, the Humane Society, does really so much for the community other than just the animals. I don't think it's that hard to ask. One day every 2 months, come give a couple hours to the Humane Society.
Yeah.
If everybody in the White Mountains just gave 2 hours every other month, man, the lives we could save.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's what we find. I think Deborah will find this more and more, and she probably already notices it too, is the people that really come on a regular basis, they come because it's so rewarding to them to
They do.
know
Yep.
that they are making a difference. You know, you go home and some people may not be in a position right now where they could have a pet, but they
Right.
love animals. So what's the next best thing? Come
Hang out with a
and hang
rental
out
animal.
with them.
There you go.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
now you can walk 50 animals, you know. So we just, you know, like I say, one of the most important things people can give is of their time, and we're honored when they choose our
That's awesome.
organization
Yes.
to give us their time.
Yep.
Now, there's other things going on that people, yes, time is a great thing to give, but we have an event coming up here in a little bit. The no,
No show fur ball.
it's a tongue twister every time, and I don't know why.
So you know, one of the things that has to happen all the time in a nonprofit, and ours is no different, is fundraising. So hopefully by now everyone's gotten their newsletters that came out, you know, just recently, and that's our fall winter newsletter. They come out twice a year, our newsletters do. And so the No Show Fur Ball is just an adorable invitation that Michelle over at High Five has done for years for us, her and Mark. And this mails out and it says, you are uninvited to attend the No Show Fur Ball. And it always has a cat and a dog all dressed up in like,
Tuxes? and
yeah,
stuff? Okay.
tuxes and ball gowns
wow.
and
Okay.
stuff. And so then people can send back, because an envelope will come with it to your
Uh-huh.
mail, and they can send back whether it's a $5 donation, a $20 donation, $100, whatever, to help with the care of these animals and these special cases like this. So that will be coming out either this month or by Valentine's Day for sure.
Okay.
So, and that's just another really cute fundraiser that we don't have a lot of time invested in. Like some of these fundraisers take us months to do.
Right.
This one, thanks to Michelle and Mark, you know, they do all the work, and then we have volunteers, again, that stuff them all in, and we just take them to the post office and mail them.
Wow.
So,
And then, so we go from there. What
Yeah.
other events do you have coming up?
well, in March, we will start our PAC 911 adoptions down in the valley with Phoenix Animal Care Coalition. We're part of that organization, a partner with them, where there could be anywhere from 50 to 100 different animal groups at one adoption event.
Wow.
So, and those are huge. Deborah did her first one last month.
Yes, in November. Yeah.
In November, she did it. And I think you were pretty overwhelmed.
But it was gratifying. I really enjoyed it. All of the animals we took down there were adopted.
Which was 10 animals.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's what this group does for us. So we go down there 3 times a year and do the
That's
events
great.
with them. And we have to do 3 a year in order to stay in good standing and qualify for medical, emergency medical money with them.
Okay.
And so they will pay us. This year I submitted, and we've gotten up to $1,500 reimbursements in surgeries, extra surgeries that have to be done outside of our facility. Like we had 2 FHOs, I think they're called, which is hips. And it's crazy. We had 2 a month apart
Oh, wow.
on 2 different dogs. And so they will reimburse you up to 75% of what you have paid up to your $1,500 a year.
Right.
And so we were able to get reimbursements on that. And this group is amazing in payback. So on a Friday, I emailed them the next bill. And on Monday, the check was in our mailbox already.
Wow.
So it definitely helps us with our extra medical that's, you know, that we have to do off-site. You know, we can't do x-rays, anything like that. All that's an expense to us. And of course, obviously, we have a lot of x-rays to do on animals.
Right.
So that's one of the events. And then in April, will be our Arizona Gives Day. And I believe that's the second Tuesday of the month, but we'll have more information on that next month. But that has become, that's an all online thing, and that has become huge for us to be able to bring in $20,000 to $30,000 in that one day.
Wow.
To help these animals. But that being said, that money is huge to us. So in 2017, it cost us $1,795 a day to keep our doors open. And so in another couple months, I'll have a figure for 2018 of what it's cost us.
Holy cow.
So
as we get close and wrapping up, the Humane Society isn't attached to other major organizations.
no, and that's a really great question because so many people think that we are affiliated with the Humane Society of the United States, the ASPCA, things like that. So no, we are not. We are our own entity, and how we get our money is through donations, our doghouse thrift shop, and fundraisers that we do. So what I always like people to know, Mike, is that if they want to donate to your local Humane Society, any nonprofit, do it at your local level, because so many people all the time go, I send you guys a check every month and I get these cute t-shirts and all this, and I'm like, no, not us, because we can't afford to send you the cute t-shirts, even if we'd like to.
Right.
You know, that money needs to go to take care of these homeless animals that we serve each and every day.
And that's what we're really here to do,
Yeah.
is save lives.
So exactly. And so no, we are not funded or connected to any of these big organizations.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. Girly, we appreciate you joining us. Adopt Girly. Go check out the Humane Society. Adopt a pet. Save lives. Until we see you next time, I'm Mike Bosely for Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains.